When skilled people move, it's not just a loss for their home country. It can also be a gain. This is called brain gain. In this short video, I'll define brain gain and explain the different conceptualizations of it, show how it happens in migration, and give some real examples and discuss how policy can maximize the benefits of it. Hi, my name is Melissa Siegel. I'm a professor of migration studies, and this is a channel about all things migration. So let's get into it. So what is brain gain? So brain gain refers to increases in human capital, skills, knowledge, and innovation that benefit a society. So in migration, brain gain can occur in origin countries, destination countries, or both. So we have a number of types and mechanisms of brain gain, and I will get into each of these. The first one that I will cover is with regard to return migration. So skilled migrants can return home with new skills, experiences, and networks, boosting local capacity. So for example, returnees in India's tech sector who launched startups after overseas experiences are something that we absolutely see, particularly with Indians that had migrated to the United States and to Silicon Valley, basically returning to India with this additional capacity and helping to boost the IT sector in India. Now, the second has to do with remittances and investments. Migrants send money, start businesses, or fund education back home, which enables human capital development in that country of origin. So, for example, diaspora investments in education and health projects in the Philippines and Mexico, which help to increase the knowledge or increase brains in that country of origin. We can also see this through diaspora networks, so through transnational ties that help to transfer knowledge and technology and trade links and mentorship. So there are a lot of different ways in which we can actually see brains being gained. Another thing is through brain circulation. So the ongoing movement of people and ideas can create two-way flows of expertise rather just than a one-off loss. So we can see kind of knowledge or brains being gained for both the country of origin and the country of destination in this regard. Another way is through the emigration of skilled workers. So this can actually entice young people to stay in school longer and gain more skills because of the possibility of migration. So they actually gain more skills, gain more knowledge because of that opportunity to go abroad, and not everyone will actually go abroad. So this leads to additional skills in the country of origin. So we can see these different conceptualizations of brain gain. The most typical ways, though, I would say that are usually discussed in the literature and in policy are the first and the last. People go abroad, gain more skills, and then can bring that knowledge back, or that people that go to the destination country bring those brains, bring those skills, and that is a gain for the country of destination. Additionally, when emigration is a booster or an incentive to gain more knowledge and education in the country of origin, this is also when we see a brain gain. So I would say those are the ones that are most commonly talked about in policy. Now, what are some of these conditions that can enable more brain gain? So education and training quality in countries of origin are really foundational skills that are necessary for also later gains that could be had, for example, abroad. Another thing that really helps is mobility-friendly policies. So ease of temporary migration, dual citizenship, and recognition of foreign experience can really encourage circulation of these brains. Having also strong diaspora engagement platforms, formal networks, investment incentives, and knowledge exchange programs helps to have this brain gain being utilized in more locations. Additionally, we also see that return incentives and reintegration support, like support with jobs or startup grants or research links and professional recognition for returnees, can also be particularly helpful for putting those brains to good use upon return, for example. In the host country or the destination country, here inclusion is really important. So having pathways to meaningful employment, lifelong learning, and opportunities to build transferable skills are also very important, not only for that brain gain to be utilized in the country of destination, but also if that person decides to return or to engage back with their country of origin. Now, there are some barriers and some risks to brain gain. So one is the so-called brain drain, which is a term that you will know from this channel that I do not like to use. If you would like to know more about that, please check out the video here on why not to use the term brain drain. But let's just say when a large number of highly skilled people migrate from maybe one particularly important sector, and this persists where, skilled people leave permanently and cannot or do not return or reinvest or keep those links, this can be problematic for the country. Skills mismatch is another issue, or if migrants work in jobs that don't build relevant experience or are not utilizing their expertise and education, this can also be problematic. We call this brain waste, and please see my video also on the channel on brain waste for more on that. Other barriers or risks are if we see institutional weaknesses in countries of origin, like poor governance or lack of opportunities that can block benefits from returning talent. Also, if there are unequal benefits, so brain gain can concentrate advantages among urban elites or certain sectors. So we need to make sure that, the gains for these things are also hopefully shared equally amongst the population. Now, there are plenty of policy levers that can be used to try to maximize the effects of brain gain. So one thing is to facilitate circular migration. So having, visas for temporary work or short-term research stays and professional exchanges can be really important here. Strengthening diaspora engagement, like, matchmaking platforms, tax incentives for investment in diaspora bonds. You can also check out another video on the channel on diaspora bonds. Creating return and reintegration programs with grants and maybe startup incubators and placement services and research partnerships. So there are lots of things that can be done here. Invest also at home in quality education, research infrastructure, and competitive career pathways to absorb also returnees, and promote knowledge networks. So having, agreements between universities, hospitals, virtual mentoring, linking origin and destination institutions in more meaningful ways can be really great ways to make sure that there is a brain gain for everyone. So I should be very clear that brain gain is not just automatic. It needs policies, institutions, and partnerships that turn migration into an opportunity and not just a drain. So if you work in policy, higher education, or industry, think about how to build bridges with diaspora and enable circular skill building mobility. And, also think about ways that we can have more skills recognition so that those brains really can be used in the places where they are going. I hope this video gave you just a little bit more insight into what brain gain is and hopefully how it can be mobilized in some of the best ways. If you found this video useful, of course, feel free to share it around, like it. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos that we upload on a regular basis on this channel. And I do hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.